Page 94, Silent Night. At the top of page 94, they're introducing you to the dotted eighth note. Now that you've had 16th notes, they can do this. If you remember the rule for dots, there's no problem because it applies. It's the same rule. The dot gets half the value of the note. Doesn't matter what the note is. In Silent Night, let's just take this as an example. This is interesting the way they've done this. They give you an example, a little one-line example, and that line is in 2/4 time. So in 2/4 time, you're counting quarter notes. So the 16th note would get 1 eanda, 2 eanda. You have to count that. In order to get the dotted eighth note, you're using 3/4 of the count, and then the 16th note gets the last quarter of it. 1 e end, and the 16th note gets the So 1 e and 1 e and 1 e and 1 e and is the way it works. Well, in Silent Night, the time signature is 6/8. We're counting eighth notes. So we don't use 1 eanda, it's just 1 and 2 and, because a 16th note gets half a count. So here in the right hand, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Remember, we got to count to 6. Don't you love it? Yeah. Again, 1 and 2 and. So that dotted eighth note gets 1.5 counts because we're counting eighth notes. So the eighth note itself gets 1 count and the dot gets a half. Put them together, it's 1.5 counts. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's the same rhythm as up above. We're just counting it different because the time signature is different. It's important that you understand that concept or you'll get all confused when something else comes along. So in Silent Night, and you have these dotted rhythms throughout. Now, this particular arrangement is not a real nice piano arrangement. This kind of arrangement works a little better with singers, because you could actually have singers singing all these notes in harmony. The sopranos, remember we had choral music, the sopranos or the top voice would sing the top note, the melody. Then you'd have altos singing the next one, the bottom note in the right hand. In harmony, you put them together. You hear that a lot in this piece. A lot of times singers will just sing it in harmony. Meanwhile, the tenors are singing the G's, and the basses are singing the bottom note. And you put them all together and you got this 4-part harmony, because there's 4 parts, and the singers will do it. Doesn't make real interesting piano music, but for singing it, it's wonderful. It really is wonderful. So this is something that you would play with singers. So invite some people in and have them sing along if you're going to do this one. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play the notes. I just want to check the notes and the rhythms with you. It does have a first and second ending, so we're going to do it twice, which is handy because you got 2 sets of words. Don't let the bars, the beams that connect the notes throw you here. Don't get confused. Some people get off on this. Let's look at the left hand at the beginning. You got a quarter note, gets 2 counts. Then an eighth note gets 1 count. And a dotted eighth note gets 1.5 counts. Don't hold the C down. You see it's barred all the way across? It has nothing to do with how long you hold a note down. So first off, finger this 5-2, so you can use the thumb on the A. And do that all the way across, even at the beginning. Finger this 5, well, they tell you 5-2. Well, that's handy, okay. But when you play that 16th note A, get off the C. So that's by itself, and that's elsewhere in there. Let's try this out slowly. It's 6/8 time. I'll give us 6 counts. Again, the metronome is beating 8th notes like it did in the previous video, except this time it's handy because we're counting 8th notes. So the right hand is here, left hand, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, go. 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and Yes, repeat. Two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, four, five, rest.